There you are, you're live.
Thanks. Welcome everyone to our October 26th meeting. I will start off with approval of the agenda. Be it resolved, the Duntroon Hall Board hereby approves the agenda dated October 26th, 2021 as presented. All supporting. Dave, we got Mark. Excellent. At this point, if you could disclose any disqualifying interest in nature thereof, please do so. None, as per usual. Approval of the minutes. Be it resolved that the Duntroon Hall Board hereby approve the meeting minutes dated September 21st, 2021 as presented. Any question about the minutes? No. Okay. Who's in support? Who do we got? Supporting the minutes are, can't see everyone. Oh, Roz is.
Jim was waving too.
Jim too. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Forgot.
Or were you swatting a fly? It's a dangerous thing at an auction.
Yeah.
Okay, business arising from the minutes. AODA renovations. Washrooms. So, Jim informed the board they just reached out to Lloyd, who received requests and plans, but has not yet had time to review. Jim updated more information to become available. So we had a meeting at the hall, Jim, Dave, and myself, and with Lloyd and representative from Burnside and Terry. And it was really good. We sort of, I think, expressed what our goals are as far as the changes we'd like to see and what Lloyd's, he's up to date on what we would like to do and in support of it and in great support of, not taxing us financially for his expertise. And there was some good communication with the Burnside group, just as far as we would like Lloyd involved in the process. So I think they got that. So right now things are basically in Burnside's hands, and they were doing up some drafts, and sounds like hopefully they'll be getting back to us in December with the draft, and then we'll go from there. Is there anything else to add to that, Dave or Jim?
I think just so everybody else knows that it turns out Burnside hires an architecture firm themselves. So it's an interesting process because in terms of this whole, what do you call it, process, that it's all above board in terms of what we can do, and we can't hire our own contractors and things, but that it's all pretty much predetermined who the design team is there without any process that we know of. So that it was a bit, I just got there at the end of the meeting. It was a little bit strange, right? With the Burnside guys going, well, we've already got our architects. And we're saying, well, we'd like Lloyd to weigh in on this. So I don't know where that ended up at the end. Have you heard anything since, Gord, from Burnside, or?
No, nothing.
No, my understanding from that was that when we were hiring Lloyd, as the Duntroon Hall was hiring Lloyd, that was fine. But now the township is covering the cost of the architect and the engineer. So if the township is in cahoots with Burnside, well, then that's fine. They can stay as the representatives to do the architect and everything. But we still want to be able to have say in what's going on. So we're supposed to get preliminary plans, if my memory serves me correctly.
From Burnside.
Yeah.
And then Lloyd will be reviewing those.
Yeah.
Seems a bit backwards to me, but I missed
Well,
that.
the only thing we can do is we can take them to Lloyd ourselves and just get a second opinion to make sure that everything is going like what we think is right and what Burnside guys think is right. Just to have an opinion from Lloyd wouldn't be a bad thing, maybe.
Yeah, I had thought that we'd have Lloyd do a design and then that would be handed off to Burnside, but
I didn't seem to get that impression at all, but
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were kind of pushing for the fact that, you know, if anything, we're doing the township, you know, a service by, you know, getting Lloyd involved and him, you know, offering his expertise at a, you know, a reduced rate, if any rate, as opposed to, you know, but I guess Burnside has their people that they work with and they have their protocols, and he did say, you know, he would discuss with his team incorporating Lloyd into the planning, but I haven't heard anything with how that would play out.
So just for the record, from my perspective, I think that's quite problematic, just in terms of, you know, when we looked at the initial Burnside schematic, it was exceptionally well, I'll just say it wasn't what we would have done. And I think, you know, there could have been more efficiency. And I would just think that it would be to everyone's advantage if Jim, David, and Lloyd were all in on the initial schematic with the Burnside team, just to make sure that things get off to a good start. You know, and to maximize efficiency and minimize back and forth.
Yeah, I think the discussion we had with Burnside sort of clarified things, and I think there was a fairly, you know, I think what our ideas were, and I think that was pretty clearly explained to Burnside. So I'm hoping that, you know, whatever draft plan that they do will reflect exactly what we want.
So when you did that, were they taking notes, or how was that conveyed? Okay.
Yeah.
Terry was kind of summed things up quite nicely there, saying that, you know, they're not going to head and build something that the hall board isn't happy with.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And I think in general, I forget the fellow's name from Burnside, but that he appreciated the idea that was brought forward as being more efficient.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, as soon as we get more information on that, we'll forward it to everyone for review and discussion. Once again, I think that was, I got the sense that would be December. Is there anything else on that? Anybody have any more comments? No.
Just that with buck and doe season starting on December 31st is the first one apparently. We're going to go in and kind of reassemble the bathroom as is, just with some bare bones drywall, no mud, quick coat of primer maybe so that it looks a little whiter, and put the washrooms back together, kind of just so they're usable till we figure out what's happening and what's going on.
So David, did you want to do that as a work fee, or what were you thinking?
Yeah, well, when we were at the meeting with the Burnside's guys there, Travis and Ron were upstairs pulling all the nails out of everything. So there's a little bit more stuff just to clean up and then throw some drywall on. Won't be too terribly hard. So
yeah. Okay.
Well, anytime you're planning and need assistance, shout it out.
Well, the thing is now that Monica's saying that we're having Christmas functions, and I don't know, I guess we'll wait for Monica to give her report of how many have canceled or not canceled to know whether we have any Saturdays we can go in, or it's going to end up just being a night project.
Okay, we'll keep going and then we can clarify some of that stuff later. Reopening, the board discussed reopening and guidelines. We can talk about that a little bit later with, I mean, we got a whole bunch of things going on with that, so we'll carry on with that in a bit.
Can
okay,
I just I just have like a quick thing on that.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to? Yeah.
Sure, we
So
can do that.
just before you guys get going, I know that there's the vaccination policy, and that's under new business.
Yeah.
This one's just the clarification from the rec department on who has responsibility of like checking those things or keeping track of contact tracing. And
Right,
then
so that's-
also
Sorry, go ahead, Kayla.
Oh, sorry. And then also the COVID update, 19 update, and the increased capacity additional rules.
Okay, so this is relevant to the reopening plan in terms of who has
Perfect.
responsibility. So I think it should go here. Everyone probably saw my email a while back. I did not share it with anyone from the township. I thought it was probably best to just do a COVID reopening plan on our own if that's what they wanted us to do, instead of trying to work with like a lot of people. So I did some research and looked at some other ones and essentially created a designation of responsibility to our renters so that no board members would need to be present and deal with all the COVID requirements, because I think that is just a really burdensome role for us. I spoke to the CAO, John Ferguson, last week, and also Doug McKechnie, as well as Amanda. And so we have officially gotten the go-ahead for kind of what we've been using already, because they did say, you know, do it yourselves. And then they went back and said, do it our way. So anyway, we got from Clearview Legal Counsel a disclaimer that we have to have the renter sign. And effectively, the responsibility for all of the COVID measures will go directly to the renter. And no onus would be on the board other than getting them to sign that. Right?
Perfect. Yeah, I think that there was something that supported that definitely, and that Terry Vachon sent out. I think there's something attached in our minutes that supported that sort of statement.
Yeah, I saw that too just this afternoon. Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, no, thanks for doing that, Nicole. That's it definitely clarifies things. I mean, obviously things are, you know, constantly changing, and I think they're getting new updates on things coming up. I just forwarded something that Amanda sent this morning next week. So
yeah, so the updates can like, I know COVID's changing every day, that can continue on. Again, the responsibility is going to fall to the renter to determine what requirements are. We will obviously provide the relevant links to keep them updated, but again, it's really going to alleviate us as a board from that strenuous requirement.
all right. Excellent. I guess I will do, I don't think there's anything else really on that, maybe until we get to events and booking, but we'll hold out. Mary, a financial report?
We've been getting lots of deposits for rentals. So since September 30th, we've had like over $2,000 in the, well, no, part of that a big chunk of that, $1,400 of that was Ian's payments, but we've been getting lots of deposits for rentals. So our current bank balance is $31,377. So we're in good shape. And I wanted to mention also that in the last hydro bill I looked into, I'm sure you know, Hydro One has this new premise now where you can switch, instead of time of use, you can switch to tiered usage. So I looked into it, and we would save approximately $10. No, it would be $10 a month more if we went on tiered. So I've just left it at time of use. So just FYI on that. So bank balance, $31,377.
Thanks for looking into that, Mary.
Excellent.
You're welcome. I don't know if any of you changed your houses to tiered, but anyway. That's all I got.
Perfect. Thanks, Mary. That's excellent. Ben, some booking update.
You're welcome.
Monica, you must have bucket loads of things to give us.
Give me 1 second. I have to go unmute her computer.
We'll know how far that is. Count the steps.
Further than you think.
Here,
There we go.
we good?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a touch screen. Apparently it's not.
An honest mistake.
Okay, so we had a lot of cancellations and then we had some extra rentals come in. So we don't have anything until November 20th in terms of Christmas parties. But we had 2 celebration of life in October, and then we have a lady this Saturday renting the upstairs. I'm not sure what for. And we've had, I bet you, 5 new Buck and Doe bookings for the spring.
Excellent.
Well, people are optimistic. That's good.
So, so we start November 20th with Christmas parties. Like how consistent is that? Do we know?
So November 20th, November 27th, and then December 5th, 11th, 19th.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
And
Buck
And
and
the
Doe.
Buck and Doe. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And so when were you thinking of doing getting the renovations in, David? In that,
It wouldn't apply. 'cause it's in
Well, but-
the-
I know, but it's the Buck and Doe is because of those dates.
It'll be some Saturday in the middle of November. Some Saturday that I don't actually have to work, I'll go in there and do it.
If I'm around, I'd be happy to help with painting or whatever.
Yeah, you can sit me down. So the ones that did cancel, I basically, they asked me what was going on and I said that they had to be double vaccinated and that pretty much made them cancel.
Interesting.
And my other question was the bowling alley.
Yeah.
I don't really see why we can't use it and everybody is asking.
Yeah, no, I think we're fine to go with that. I talked to George and Bull, and I mean, all they do, they've obviously divided their lanes, and there's 15 minutes of a cleaning process between groups. And I mean, in our case, we have a group in, and the next group's not in for a week, so
Yeah.
the exposure, like it's a moot point. So I think, yeah, I agree. I think it's fine.
And if somebody could look at the hand sanitizer stations, I tried to get them open. I couldn't figure them out. So I think they need refilled or looked at.
Got a
At a
hammer.
township. I spoke to John today. He said if we needed anything, the township will provide it in terms of masks and filling the stations. He said he'd follow up, but
Perfect. Well,
Yeah, if you need any of those products, just reach out to Amanda Murray.
Okay, perfect.
I was gonna say, I got a hammer, I'll get it open.
You'll probably get squirted at the same time. Wear a mask.
I'll have
Like,
my
I
mask.
don't know if little baggies go in there or what. We don't have any bags of sanitizer, but we have bottles. Like,
some of them are refill now.
yeah, they look like they're refill, but I just couldn't
You
get
need
it.
a key.
Oh, I don't have a key. I couldn't get them open.
And I guess Ian's been doing some rentals.
He's been done now for a couple weeks and he hasn't
okay.
booked anymore.
Okay, so he's done for a bit.
Yeah.
All right. I talked to Joseph, and I get the feeling he's going to be out the end of this week. So he's in the process. So I'll go in and physically go in and check with him and just sort of see how things are going in that capacity.
I was in today and he told me that also, but there's a lot of stuff down there still.
Yeah. Now he was saying he's moving to the larder and he's going to be there by Wednesday. Best to have the hall cleaned up and all the equipment out by the end of this week. He said, keep me up to date on the progress. I mean, he's, there's obviously no major rush on that, but it would be good to see after he leaves if we can sort of make sure it's the way it was initially was given to him. And I guess, so he installed that electrical outlet. Is that something we want removed, or should we just leave it there?
What, where?
What's that?
Where is it?
It's it's along the wall, the west wall. He had his dough rolling machine.
Oh, yeah.
Comes up as far as that.
And it comes right from the panel?
Yeah.
So is it tucked along the baseboard or?
Yeah, I think they're under I don't know if it's a baseboard or under the sort of railing there. I'll have to double check that, but yeah, I'll see how it looks. I mean, if it's an eyesore, if it's, could get in the way, I'll get them to have it yanked out.
I'm wondering from a safety perspective,
Yeah.
in a room where little kids are running around, having 220 volt outlet that you could.
Yeah.
Isn't great.
No.
You could probably put a plastic box over, like a thermostat protector box over it if it was required to stay there. But I'd want to make sure he used the right wire coming down, that it's, like an armored cable or something. Somebody's not going to poke it or cut it or anything.
Yeah, and what would we ever need it for there?
Yeah. No,
Like,
I'll have him remove it. Yeah.
Gord, I see the last payment we had from Joseph was August 28th. So I don't know if doesn't look like he's paid for September.
So he paid August 28th. I think that was for September. So he owes us for October.
Well, he paid February 17th. So I never get any information about what month it represents.
Okay.
So February 17th, he paid. March 17th, he paid.
Mm-hmm.
May 3rd, June 3rd, June 29th, August
wait,
28th.
wait. Let's start again. And it's the same amount every time?
Yes, $1,000.
Okay, so he paid, sorry, he started February, so Feb,
February 17th,
yeah,
March 17th,
yeah.
May 3rd, June 3rd, June 29th, August 28th.
So from February, that was 7 payments? Or was it 8? Was it 7? How many payments is that from February 14th?
From February to October should be 9 payments, and he's only made 6 so far.
That was 6? I thought that was 7.
February, March, May, 2 in June, and 1 in August. Did I miss 1 in July?
There was no payment made in July, June 3rd and June 29th.
And then August 28th.
See, yeah, see, when you had asked him about a payment and he said, well, he made 2 in June. That's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know if one was for May and one was for June. I mean, he made a payment June 29th, or if he thought that was for July. But regardless, as I read them out, February 17th, March 17th, May 3rd, June 3rd, June 29th, and August 28th.
Okay.
So
When did he move in? Was it in February or March?
He moved in mid-October. That's why the February 14th sort of start day, his payments were always mid-day, mid-month. But then he obviously started getting a little off kilter there. So the May one was late for April. The June was late for May. So that one goes to July. So yeah, there's nothing for July essentially. And then nothing for September.
Or October yet.
Or October.
yes,
And
so
even-
you know what
So
David said.
October would be a half payment. Because it's basically, it should carry to the his rent should carry to the 14th of November. So he owes for half
But-
of that. So he owes 2.5.
Well, what David said is the way it shakes out. There's been 6 payments.
Yeah, so he owes us 2.5. So I'll follow up with him on that. What was the totals again? What is he paying? 1,000 or
Yes.
1,200? 1,000?
1,000.
It was $2,500. Okay, perfect. Excellent. That's a lot of empanadas.
Yes.
Uh-huh. All right. I hope he doesn't try to sell us a dough rolling machine.
If it's cheap enough, I could be interested for the church, but it's gotta be cheap enough.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's got to have a deal attached to that. Okay, good. Follow up on that. Anything else, Monica? No. Okay, facility review.
Okay, here I am.
Oh, is there
Had
any?
Had
any
to
oth-
unmute it. No, there's not really anything else.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Facility review, anything we need to know about the facility? I guess the new bins, are we even going to use them? I'm not sure. That starts not this week, but next week.
No, I don't want to use them.
No, not at all. Okay.
No, because I don't want people leaving their garbage there. If those bins are there, they'll fill them full.
Yeah.
Well, Ron moved them over kind of to the south of the propane tanks,
Okay.
2 of them. I have the recycling one at home. It was full of cans and gross, disgusting crap. So I dumped it out on the back field, let it get washed off, and then I'm gonna sort it one of these days and get rid of it. So
Well, I think I mentioned that we got 2 sets. I guess some Einstein figured there were 2 houses on our circular driveway, so I called as soon as we got them, and they said they probably wouldn't be picked up until October 25th. Today I was driving into Collingwood and I saw a truck in Ottawa either picking up or dropping off. So I was hoping that today would be the day that the second set would go. So so I'm going to call Simcoe County to follow up on that. Do you want me to ask about getting those ones picked up?
mhm.
I wonder, will they not pick up garbage if it's not in those containers now?
That's exactly.
Okay, so I think we might as well hold on to the ones at the hall, just not have them accessible for renters.
What if, if we have an event, we can just take stuff home? Like, I know we're going to nowhere near fill that every week.
Yeah.
That big bin, we could spread it out a bit.
Yeah, I don't think we need them. We can just divvy it out and take them home, whatever we need. If they're there, they're just going to be a problem.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, so Mary, you're going to ask them to pick them up?
Yes, I'll have to go over and write down the serial numbers. That's what I did for the 2 sets, and so I could distinguish what set belonged to us. So I'll go over, and the 2 that are there, I'll write down the serial numbers and ask them to come and pick them up. But they'll have to be accessible. Sorry, David, where did you say, Ron, where did you put them?
Just south of the propane tanks.
Oh, okay.
They're just the one garbage one.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
green
okay.
one. The green one we put in the hall.
And what about the blue?
It's in my place yet. I have to bring it back.
Okay.
It's sitting out in the back field with the lid open, trying to get washed out because it was disgusting.
I got you.
And the renter this weekend left his garbage and I emailed him and said, please come back. And if he
Good.
doesn't, I'll just take it if he doesn't, but I left it there for now.
And then charge him another $25.
That would be nice, but he's long gone, so.
We want to use the green one for like salt, then we can just leave outside.
No,
Or-
because the mailbox people throw garbage in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Sounds good. All right. Anything else with the facility?
Furnace.
Oh, yeah. Is that something we should be dealing with? Where did we leave off with it?
Rick Redpath has a boiler ordered and should be to him this week, I believe. It's just a matter of when Scott has time to get it stuck in for him. And then the furnace is coming down to us. I'm just in the process of trying to find somebody to install it because Zeke's telling me it would be January to spring sometime before he can do it. And Scott said no. So there's a Steve guy I can get a hold of here. And I didn't get a chance today to get a hold of him. So
This is for the geothermal one?
yes. So the geothermal that we're getting from Rick Redpath is the one that came from Highlands Nordic. They put in, it didn't work there. So Rick bought it.
Right,
Rick
but-
never ever hooked up the geothermal part of it. He just ran it as an electric furnace, but now he's getting a boiler and decided that the unit was far too big for his house anyways. So
Okay, the guy that, I can't remember his name, that owns where Steve McDonald's parents used to be on 91. He works, I believe, for Waterloo Energy or something like that. I'm wondering if that might be another lead.
You want to send me his information or his name so I can look it up?
Yeah,
Just text
Yeah.
it to me after.
I'll send you, I just can't think of his name right off the bat here, but
I'll give you 3 hours, then you can text me.
okay.
That's usually when I remember the names.
Okay, yeah, I'll send you that. I have his contact information somewhere.
Our first Christmas party is November 20th, and it's the Red Path Christmas Party. And I've heard several complaints from people in that family about the heat downstairs, so I want to make sure it's quite nice for them.
I'll tell him to bring the furnace with him when he comes.
If it's downstairs, that's the propane one anyway, so it's a
Yeah.
different one.
I would love to have a little electric fireplace. I think that would
Yeah.
be nice for a Christmas party.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, where
be really
somebody,
nice.
especially somebody that's got a chill, has a place to go.
Yeah,
think
and it would
there's-
just add to the ambiance.
Yeah, I think I saw one. I saw one at the Restore. I'll check it out tomorrow if I get a chance to go by.
Maybe we do need that 220 for like a really big one.
I was just thinking I could plug a construction heater into that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be paying to have events down there as opposed to making money.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Mary, if Rick does decide to donate part of the value of that furnace, can we do a tax receipt for him? As she ran away.
I think that may be a hard one from the little bit I know. What is the value, I guess?
Yeah, value on a used commodity,
Mhm.
unless he can somehow get it appraised.
that might be something that the person who ends up installing it would be able to give a value.
So David, just to refresh, are we replacing the whole unit? The whole?
Yes.
The whole box, the whole works, okay.
Mary, did you hear Dave's question? And Mary, you're on mute.
Oh, oh, I had to go get my charger. So
Yeah.
the question was?
I guess if Rick Redpath wants to donate a portion of the cost of the furnace, is that possible? What are the logistics around that when you're dealing with gifts in product? Maybe check with the township and just see whether the product needs appraisal value or.
Yes, I think it can be done because the, Kayla, maybe you know, but I think the premise is, because he's actually donating something that gets left there, then he can get the tax receipt for it. But we would have to have a value assigned to it.
Yeah.
Okay, I will ask.
Yeah, I mean, it is a used unit, so you couldn't really sort of base it on the new price, but as Suzanne said, maybe based on the person who's installing it, they give a.
So the
professional
question is, we have a used furnace being donated.
Well,
Okay.
a portion of
Yes.
of it.
They have a value of what it's worth if we were to buy it from them, and he decides to give half of it as a donation. Say, can we do a donation of, or a receipt for the other half of it or something?
Right.
But if I remember right, I think we would have to buy it and then he gives the check back. Isn't it something like that?
Hmm,
Something along those lines?
that sounds like a
Familiar?
good route. I think you're right, Mark.
I think so.
That's nice and easy. Then.
Then you have a full paper trail.
Yeah, and it's just, the value is what the value is. He puts a price on it, we agree to it or not. And then he donates what he wants.
Right. So we buy it outright. He donates back.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay, I will ask Kelly.
All right. New business, vaccination policy. Yeah, I'm not really sure if there's anything we need to touch on this. All the documents that have been sort of forwarded from the township I've passed on and were attached to the minutes, and then Nicole sort of gave us the basically what we want to hear portion of it. Is there any questions regarding this that people have? Is that a Mary hand up? I can't tell.
Oh, no, sorry. No, sorry, I'm just.
Just holding your
all-
screen.
I'm using my phone tonight, so everything's all discombobulated.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere with the onus being on the renters to do this? Is there any possible audit? I don't know by whom, like, is it the Department of Health or anything?
An audit of
Or
their practices,
of,
like a
yeah,
renter's
the
practices?
procedure. Well, I guess, well, if it's not our responsibility, I guess we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, we would forward them all the guidelines and what their responsibilities are. There will be, that will exist. So they will have that, and, you know, to what degree they follow it is their responsibility.
Right. Good.
Anything else? Oh, there was one other thing with the facility. Monica, last time you talked about the ice dispenser. I did, I mentioned I'd have a look into that. I searched, and really there is only one product that makes any sense. As far as just filling it up and it dispensing ice, like us buying the bags and doing it manually, because otherwise you get into commercial ones that are making the ice, which to me doesn't really make sense for our operation. And the ones that people have at their houses and stuff would never keep up with an event. They just don't produce at the rate that it's consumed. So I sort of sent a link for that item. They retail around $1,600, which blows my mind, given that all you're doing is putting ice in and then it's pumping it out. But
I think we could have one made out of stainless steel just locally. Like
exactly,
basically, it's like a chicken feeder for
it's
ice.
a gravity bin. Yeah, it's just a gravity bin. Yeah, totally. That's, I was actually shocked. I was like, here's a market here to capitalize on. It's so easy. Or a candy dispenser or any of those things. It's just.
the worst thing is the ice will freeze back together to a certain extent that
You gotta
have to
keep
have
it moving.
broke up.
Yeah,
Where
you
the
gotta,
where the $1,600 one, there'll be a spiral in there that will pick it up and spit it out for you. So
yeah, I think if you just had like even like some sort of a crank that every once in a while you cranked it and just kept it,
Bingo wheel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's got a mini motor in it, so it's just slowly turning a little hamster wheel.
Popcorn maker.
Mhm. Popping ice
Yeah, and I guess it has to have a tray for
or
water.
drip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did see one at an auction that sold for like $130, but that was closed, so we missed out on that one. The same model too.
Oh. So we're not buying that, I take it, right?
I don't think that the value is really worth that at this point, personally. I mean, we can vote on that, but I mean, it depends on Monica how hard you want to push for it.
For the ice dispenser,
Yeah,
not at $1,600.
no, that's what I thought.
But is
What
it
is,
okay, everybody grabbing their own ice?
Yeah, it just, yeah, it's just, it's like, you know, it's like the water or the soda machines or whatever. You just push the lever in and it drops the ice out.
is
So-
it too much for now for the bartenders to just ask if people want ice?
Bless you.
Monica or Nicole, you're the experts. Like, could we, behind the bar, the bartenders just put in a cube of ice? Ice?
Yeah, we could do something like that. Just ask them if they want ice with it.
Yeah. Just to
Isn't
keep our-
isn't, oh, no, you've always had the ice out on the bar. That's right. People have
Yeah.
done it themselves. Yeah.
And the self-service, the issue, I take it.
Yeah.
From a hygiene point of view, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, people constantly putting their hands in the same dispenser.
Yeah, because I think to make something we'd be talking, I'm guessing $500 anyway, something like that. To weld something up out of stainless steel and have a crank and a tray to capture water and stuff, you know, it's not just a bin.
Yeah.
So still a chunk of money.
Well, I'll keep looking for used ones. Yeah, maybe someday it'll be a Christmas present. All right. I think that's everything. If there was no questions regarding the vaccination policy guidelines, requirements, once again, there's new stuff that will be coming out next week. So I'll forward that on once we know. And I think that's it. Anybody else have any information they need to share? Anything of interest?
One thing, just when I was going by the hall the other day, I was noticing how much the solar panels were shaded from that maple in the back, which we took a big chunk out of whatever, 15 years ago or something. But that's something that maybe could be, the township usually hires measers or somebody to go around and deal with a bunch of township trees. I feel like that would be a good idea. Because we've learned a little bit about the way these things work. If a bunch of those panels are in a string, there's probably 2 or 3 strings. If one panel is shaded in a string, that's all the string produces. Like it's like a throttle. So even though there's, you know, you look at it and you think, well, there's 75% of the panels are in the sun, it's not absorbing that much, and that is an income generator for us. So I think if that tree could be trimmed, which is a good idea anyway, it's a pretty big tree, right, very, very close to the fall. So
Have they taken down the ashes yet? The dead trees? Because they could maybe do it all together.
I don't think they have.
there,
The ashes are like on the other side of the river or the whatever the drainage stream.
oh,
Kayla, can you make a note of that in our minutes to make a request for pruning maple tree that is obstructing solar panels? Should I reach out to Terry myself, or will this go straight through?
If you want to reach out to him, that's great. Or
Yeah,
I can,
okay.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll do both, two double.
Okay.
Perfect.
He's supposed to be watching right now. It's on YouTube.
maybe worth if they're setting up there with a boom truck or something to look at some of those other big trees too, because a bunch of those silver maple are kind of maybe on their way out. Might be a bunch of dead stuff in them. There too.
Sounds good. Roz,
Yes.
yeah, speak. I want to see what is that you have in front of your screen? Is it a ruler?
Yes.
Yard-
Yardstick
Oh, yardstick.
Nice.
from Walkerton, Ontario.
Classic. Any reviews on Dune?
Oh, yeah, it was really good.
Is that
Really visually interesting. Did you read it?
long
Yeah.
time ago?
Well, I find the book kind of confusing in the beginning anyways, so the movie was the same, like it was kind of confusing in the beginning, but once the action starts, it's easier to understand.
You
But,
get right into it.
I really liked it.
Good.
I liked it better than the book, actually.
Oh,
While we have Roz there, Roz, you sent something which I still haven't really looked at, but a program of some
Oh, right.
kind.
The Leaf Initiative or something.
Commonwealth Leaf Initiative.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that another person, like that little, I don't know if they're at the Milnes old place, that eco village thing, is
Yep.
Yeah.
is that where that is? Okay, so they applied for something, but I think we're need it far more, and I think we qualify, there's outdoor stage, there's all kinds of stuff that we could apply for. And I wondered even about the accessible things. It's basically community assistance, right? I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it a closer look.
Yeah. Thanks for sending that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. All right. Next meeting is scheduled for November 23rd, 2021. So
Can I ask a random question, or should I wait till after you adjourn?
you can do it now,
Okay.
unless it's going to start a really long conversation.
It's a very short answer.
Okay.
How tall is your red mulberry behind your barn?
20 feet max. Not
So
even.
it's a native tree, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
Good.
Thanks.
The furnace, the thermostat is flashing, change the furnace filter, if anybody needs to know that.
All right.
Thank you.
Which filter would that be? Is that
That's the
for
main air filter.
the basement? I mean, for the basement area. Okay.
No, it was the upstairs one that I seen.
Oh, was it? Oh, the basement one probably needs done too.
Yeah, I don't go down there and look when Joseph's working.
Right.
Are there replacements there?
There was the one in the geo. I'm not sure if there's a replacement there
Mhm.
or whether it just needs to get vacuumed out. I can't remember.
Okay.
It might be a permanent one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna pop in and see him before the end of the week, so I can check those.
Mary, when do you plan to go check out the bins?
Well, I will call them and then, oh, when do I go to get right down the, well, tomorrow's supposed to be a non-rainy day, so I'll go over tomorrow and write down the serial numbers, you mean?
Right. Yeah, I'll just have to dig it out, that's all. It's behind the propane tanks. The
Oh,
one.
can I get back there?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I'll just go back there and write them down. I think it should be
well, there's
okay, Mark.
only, I think there's only the one there.
There's the
There's only
garbage one.
The garbage one.
Yeah, and then the other one, didn't you say Monica was in the hall somewhere?
Yeah, the green one's in the vestibule and the entranceway, and I have the blue one
The other
here.
the other one's in your field. Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
You just take a photo of the serial number and send that to Mary, maybe?
Yeah.
And then she has the number and we don't have to worry about emptying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to anyways, because you're gonna have to get it back to the hall when they plan to pick it up.
I'm not heading that way tomorrow, but I probably am Thursday.
Mhm.
I wouldn't think that they're gonna be rushing right out to do it.
Not unless they're on the way by and they pick it up when they're picking up yours.
Mhm. Yes. All right,
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
One very small thing, I'm sure probably most of you guys know this, but that Bob Giffen died. There, just as everybody knew.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there's something we can do as a hall. Some commemoration maybe at the hall, because he was very generous to the hall. As far as like just donations to events and wagons and many different things. So if
Well, celebration of life is in the spring. I heard.
we want to offer the hall for that maybe, or I don't know. Give some thought to what would be an appropriate.
Each thing in the short term would be just to send a card or something from the hall board to the family.
Hmm.
So Suzanne and I will deal with that.
Appreciate it.
You mean Suzanne will do with that, Jim?
Yeah.
No, Jim will do it. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I heard it's a little bit of sadly a trend in the family. Didn't his father die similar way? Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Farm accidents.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, but he was only 55 or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it was from what I've heard, well, I know his dad was caught in a power takeoff, so it was a pretty brutal thing.
Oh, nasty.
I was just told today was a Bob fell off, this like
Slipped.
or fell off or slipped or something coming off a combine and whacked his head on
Yeah,
something.
I heard he was putting a belt on the combine. He was using the pipe wrench to turn the pulley, and the pipe wrench slipped, and then he toppled off.
Oh, yeah, brutal. Anyway, very sad.
They're a long ways up to the top of the combine.
Yeah.
A big loss to the community.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get a card off from the hall board just thanking you know, commemorating all that he helped with our events and stuff. So,
Great, thank you. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Be resolved, Duntroon Hall Board meeting be adjourned at 8:08. I think that's exactly an hour. Oh, Ian.
Ian, how are you?
Hi, guys. Girls.
Anything to add before we acknowledge adjournment?
No, nothing to add.
Okay.
I trust it went well.
Yeah. It was smooth going. Perfect. Okay, so adjourned at